All right, hello everybody. We are going over part 2 of congruent triangle notes. We are classifying triangles by their side. The last one was by angles. We went over obtuse, acute, right, and equal angular, and that was classifying by their angles. Now we're looking at the 3 sides of the triangle. Okay, so to indicate congruent, an equal number of sides that a triangle has, a congruent equal number of hash marks. Okay. To indicate congruent, an equal number of hash marks are drawn on corresponding sides. Okay, so on here, the first triangle we're going to go over is scalene, and no two sides are the same, okay, or they are not congruent. Notice that these tick marks, this one is different than the 2, is different from the 3, signifying that they're all different measures. Okay, your tip is equal number of hash marks means that sides are congruent. While I have you here, I want to show you the sign for congruent, and it looks like this, an equal sign with a little squiggly above. So if you ever want to abbreviate that, I am totally cool with you doing that little symbol. Okay, so scalene, all sides are different. Isosceles, you will see that these sides have the same amount of tick marks. Okay, so at least 2 are congruent for an isosceles triangle, 2 sides the same. The 2 congruent, and I'm going to use that symbol here, sides of an isosceles triangle form the vertex angle. Okay, this right here would be your vertex angle. All right, next we have an equilateral triangle. For that, you can see all 3 sides have the same tick mark of just 1. Okay, so on here, all sides are congruent, and a special case of an isosceles triangle. Because if we look up here, isosceles said at least 2. We do have 2 sides that are the same, okay? But this third one classifies it there with the equilateral. Okay, we're in isosceles triangle. Okay, another tip, all equilateral triangles are also equiangular and vice versa, meaning if they have the 3 sides, that means all of their angles are going to be equal as well. So let's equilateral triangles are also equiangular. Okay, so if we wanted to mark this, I could mark them all with the same marking there. And you already know if one of these is the same as the other 2, okay, then we know that this has to be 60, 60, 60. Hopefully you remember that. Okay, let's turn to the next page. So we've got scalene, no sides, isosceles, 2, equilateral, 3. We get to practice. All right, so look at this tab. So classify each triangle by its side and its angle. We're going to go ahead and do sides first because that's just what we talked about. So if I look, I have 2 sides here that are the same, and that is going to tell me this is an isosceles. Okay, if we're looking at our angles, I noticed this right here. This is my giveaway that there's a box there. I know that is 90 degrees, and we classify that as a right triangle. So this is an isosceles right triangle. Hey, coming over here, let's classify it by its sides first. Look, I have 1, 2, 3 tick marks. All are different, okay? When they're all different, we have scalene. Okay, and now let's look at and classify it by its angle. I have this angle right here that they're giving me 101. It is bigger than 90, so that means that this must be an obtuse triangle. Last one here. All 3 sides are the same. Equilateral. And if all 3 sides are the same, that means all 3 angles are going to be the same. Equiangular. Okay, good. If anytime I'm going too fast, go ahead and pause me, write down what you need to, and then move on. Let's go down to this bottom part. Ooh, you can use the fact that isosceles and equilateral contain pairs of congruent sides to set up and solve problems using linear equations. Okay, so it says try to solve this one. Find x and the measure of each side of an equilateral triangle, and they give us the name here, RST. If RS is this, ST and RT. So first thing I would do for something like this is draw my triangle out, draw one out. Okay, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but gives me something that I can label. They tell me the triangle is RST. I'm going to RST. RS is this equation here, so I'm going to find side RS, 4x plus 36. Then it tells me ST is 8x right here. Okay, and RT is 12x minus 36. That's this side here. Minus 36. Okay, we need a little bit more information, so let's come back up here. It told us what type of triangle it is, an equilateral. Now that's telling us its sides are all the same. I know all of these sides are the same. All of these must be equal to each other. So we can set up a problem to do that right now. Okay, I'm going to pick, let's do an easier one here with the 8x. Okay. And 8x should be equal. I can set it to either one, but I'm going to use this one right here. You guys remember this is some algebra. Okay, I need to get all my x's over to one side. This is a positive 4x, so I'm going to subtract that. This cancels out. Leaves me with 36 on this side. I'm left with 4x on this side. Since this is showing me multiplication, they're next to each other, I need to do the opposite, which is division. Okay, and when you do that, you should get your answer. So 36 divided by 4 is going to give you your answer for x there. I want you to find that. Use your calculator, pull out your phone. Okay, one more together. Find x on all three sides of the triangle. Okay, they give us the triangle. I'm again going to draw this. It says isosceles, meaning two sides are the same. Okay, say G, H, J. It says H and G is congruent to JG. Oh, so that means these two are going to be congruent to each other. Okay, GH is 6x plus 42. I'm just filling in the information that they're giving me. And then we have GJ 18x minus 30. Okay, they gave me HJ here. I just need to solve for x, so I can just keep these two and set them equal to each other. So this is what that's going to look like. 6x plus 42 is equal to 18x minus 30. We're going to use the same kind of system that we used up here. Get my x's to one side. So I'm going to subtract 6. Left with 42 equals. Okay, I have to do 18 minus 6, and I'm still with this 30. Okay, when I do this, get 12x. I'm then going to add 30 to both sides. I'm running out of room. I'm going to just drop this down here. So I have 72 is equal to 12x. The last thing we do is division, divide each side by 12. So 72 divided by 12 is going to give you your x. All right, look out for part number 3 so you can fill out the rest of your note.